Miami and Pitt. Canes need a win and get some help, allegedly, to get in the college football playoff. But first things first, they have to win against the Panthers on the road. Down 7-3. Malachi Toney at quarterback finds Elijah Lofton for the touchdown. Canes take a 10-7 lead. Second passing touchdown this season for the true freshman. First non-quarterback QB with 2 or more passing touchdowns in a season since Otis Anderson in 1977. Back to the guy that normally slings it around. Carson back to Toney, who now normally catches the football and is pretty good at it. Easy when you're going up against a linebacker in Kyle Lewis. 17-7 Canes. Final moments of the fourth in a 31-7 game. How about another one for good measure? Back to C.J. Daniels. Looking for some style points. They'll need it. Common opponent against Notre Dame. 10 wins in back-to-back seasons for Miami for the first time since 2003/4. Big day for Toney. 13 catches for $126 and those 2 total touchdowns, including the passing touchdown that we showed you there. Again, Miami finishes the regular season 10-2. They will be bunched with other 2-loss teams trying to get an at-large bid into the college football playoff. Welcome back to college football postgame here in CBS Sports HQ. Miami takes care of Pitt on the road 38-7. And here's a look at odds to make the college football playoff pregame numbers. Yes and no. Odds were via FanDuel and, of course, subject to change as we're going to update our numbers for the Miami Hurricanes, which is in that bucket of 2-loss teams that we'll talk about whether they can get an at-large bid into the CFP. Back with the crew here to talk about the Canes. And Kenz, I'll start with you. Again, the fallout of their performance today against Pitt, given some of the other programs that they're fighting with.
Yeah, I think in general, Michigan going down actually ended up helping a lot of people. So when you talk about that 10-2 chaos pie I always talk about, having a Michigan fall out basically helps Miami and Texas inherit a ton of that. So through that full 12 p.m. slate, you are seeing Miami's odds to make the the playoff get better. You're seeing Texas's drastically get better, and you're seeing Oregon just passively being affected by all of this. The fact that Miami is a contender, the fact that Texas is, it's making this game upcoming more of a must-win for Oregon, but just a very interesting reshift of the pie. This whole Texas chaos has really thrown a wrench into everybody's parade.
DK, the Canes cover, there were some questions about how they would perform given everything with the outside noise. Were you surprised with their performance today?
No, I think Miami's a really good playoff caliber team, and we've been having this insane debate for the last month of who should be in. Should it be Miami or Notre Dame? And we've completely lost fact that they played each other in the first game of the season. We saw Miami win that game, and yet we're using all these common opponents. So now we have one more data point where you had a common opponent. Really, it was probably the only common quality opponent these two teams played. And Miami won just 2 weeks apart, won by more points. I thought they dominated the team more impressively and against a team that actually wanted to win the game. Because remember Pat Narduzzi before that game against Notre Dame, he's like, well, I don't really, this game doesn't matter that much for us. We want to win the ACC. So you also had a Pitt team that was more invested in tougher, nastier conditions. So I think this is another one that favors Miami. But my only question is, this committee can actually use common sense? Or are they going to somehow screw this up?
A couple data points, which is that Miami beat Notre Dame head-to-head. They also, as you mentioned, beat Pitt better. It was 37-15 back when the Fighting Irish beat the Panthers a couple weeks back.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Miami is they've put themselves in this position. Tommy Tran, like we can sit up here and talk
Louisville
about
loss, SMU loss.
Yeah, Miami, Mario Cristobal, Carson Beck, the Miami football team, the Hurricanes, put themselves in this position. So we're supposed to sit up here, and the committee also, just because they are one of the better teams in college football right now. I will not deny that at all. But just because they're playing better in the second half of the season, we're supposed to sit up here and campaign for why they should be in the college football playoffs when they put themselves in a position to where they don't control their own destiny.
But Notre Dame could have beaten Texas A&M. They gave up a touchdown score, an unbelievable touchdown drive by Marcel Reed to Texas A&M. They could have stopped that, and they wouldn't be in this predicament if they had beaten Miami.
I'm not comparing the Miamis to the Notre Dames right now. I'm talking about Miami and how we should not be sitting here campaigning for them to be in the college football playoffs when they have not played to a resume that deserves or warrants for them to be in the college football playoffs.
I'd be fine if you say Notre Dame and Miami are both out. That to me doesn't make much sense, because if you have one in, I think they both have to be in.
Notre Dame is in a private conversation of their own. We know that, and we have to abide by that. We cannot change that. Now, does that mean I agree? No. Does that mean
So you're saying committee would love to put Notre Dame in, will never have any chance to leave them out if available?
Why would the committee never put the pressure on Notre Dame to join a conference?
I think the issue that we're going to see, and I don't know the answer to the question, is are we looking more at the quality of losses or the quality of wins? Because Notre Dame has the best quality losses here, but then you look at Miami, who has a loss to Louisville, you look at Texas in this conversation, who has a loss to Florida. Those are astronomically worse than the losses you're seeing from Notre Dame.
They're not that bad of losses. SMU is going to be 9-3.
Louisville? For real?
So you're talking about Miami, right?
I'm saying their quality of losses. I know if
So losing to SMU is probably going to win the ACC. That is not a disqualifying loss. And losing to Louisville is 8-4. That's not a horrific loss. That's not,
is that going to
those are the same, but I think they're
at the same time, those are two teams that, if you've got way more talent than both of those teams, and you should have zero business losing those games.
Yeah.
It's not even about the respectable opponent, because I agree, SMU and Louisville, they're not two bad teams, but to your point, Miami's such a good team, they shouldn't even be in that same conversation.
And they were massive favorites.
Massive favorites, Danny. Massive favorites.
I know. So if you lose as a 28.5-point favorite, you should probably not be eligible for the playoff, right? That's what happened last year with Notre Dame when they lost to Northern Illinois. No one remembered that.
There wasn't 7, 10, and 2 teams to be having this conversation with. I just think even if Vandy's still in this conversation, Vandy's losses are to Texas and Bama. I'm not saying I know the answer to this. I'm just saying, are they going to look at those losses compared to Notre Dame's losses, compared to Miami's, and where do you rank all of these?
Final word here.
To piggyback on Damien's point, DK, the timing of when you lost. Notre Dame lost in September, right?
What are we doing?
But I'm just saying, hear me out. Notre Dame lost in September. We saw Miami have, in a 3-week span, they had 2 losses. October and November, if I'm not mistaken, or October.
Look, I think we all agree the one at home to Louisville hurts. The one at SMU is not bad. But yes, to your point.
Yes, at SMU is not bad, but it's still not holding a candle to some of the
committee, as we thought, talks out of two sides of the mouth, head-to-head matters, but now you got to play matters.
They can do whatever
they can do whatever they want. Correct.
Important wins.
Yes.
Good loss.
And we've established that the committee, since day one, has put Notre Dame in a position to be in the CFP. And even though they've moved up Miami every bit, just incrementally, Kane's still outside of the
They have done whatever they want in years past. The first year of the college football playoff, TCU and Baylor were co-champions in the Big 12. And everybody thought, I think it was TCU, they thought, oh, they're going to be in automatically. And then they kept them out. The team went from 6 to 3 to get in.
All right, we got to wrap things up. We could talk about Miami and Notre Dame all day, all night, but that was actually what makes this a lot of fun. Mario Cristobal at Miami. You're taking a look at double or back-to-back 10-win seasons. At least for today, we don't have to do the September, October, November, December splits for him as he gets it done on the road at Pitt, winning with margin.